My uncle used the brush I used to clean the toilet. Stories. I am absolutely disgusted. Context. My family lives in a city in the countryside and has a shared apartment in the capital. Every time someone in the family leaves our city and goes to the capital, be it an uncle, a nephew, a grandfather, they occupy the apartment. In practice, no one stays there except me, who attends college full-time at a federal university and comes home on the weekends. Since my stay is longer than the others, I am responsible for cleaning all the rooms, including the bathroom. To clean the toilet, I use an old toothbrush that can reach hard-to-reach areas that a regular toothbrush can't. After I'm done using it, I store it in a drawer in the bathroom, along with other cleaning supplies. You see, I had no idea that someone would look at that toothbrush and think it was for brushing teeth. It was stored with the sponge, disinfectant, and soap, not to mention that the bristles were chewed and the handle was dirty. It was obvious that I didn't use it for oral hygiene. So when my mother told me that a couple of uncles were coming to spend the weekend at the apartment, I didn't bother to find a better hiding place for her. I just brushed the toilet as usual and put it in the usual drawer. Then I traveled back to my hometown. My uncle stayed for the weekend and left on Sunday. We didn't see each other. When I came back on Monday, the toothbrush wasn't in the cleaning drawer. She was in the brush jar, along with the other brushes my family uses to brush their teeth. My body froze. When I saw that scene, I already knew what had happened, what they had done with the brush, and I felt an instant urge to vomit. I know it wasn't my aunt, because her toothbrush was already in the toothbrush jar, so it was my uncle. He probably forgot his toothbrush in our hometown, got to the apartment, started rummaging through the bathroom cabinets, found the old, ugly toothbrush I used to clean the toilet, and used it to... Oh my God, disgust. At the time, I just put it back in the drawer and forgot about it to avoid vomiting. It's only now that my head has finally calmed down that I've stopped to think about the long-term consequences. And I don't know what to do. Should I tell my uncle that the brush is used to clean the toilet? Should I hide the brush in an even more hidden corner? Should I throw it away? Regardless of what I choose, one thing is certain. Poor my uncle.
Don't tell. Put a label on the brush, lol.
Right on the brush, used to clean shit. Fear of being lonely in college. Venting. Well, that's kind of the title. I finished high school, and I only have one person that I talk to about life, software, and stuff. But after that, I don't really talk to anyone. And I kind of end up feeling like, at the end of the day, I go home, and I'm just going to be floating around, playing a few games, and that's it. And I never really thought about it, but I'm going to move to another state for college. What are things going to be like? Will anyone outside of my family remember that I exist? Occasionally, some friends on Discord talk to me, but there are a few people who would stay on call just to talk nonsense about some common interest, and I admit that I simply prefer to have a human being close to me. And even if I try to interact in servers and such, the feeling I have is that in several groups, either I'm too dumb to say anything about it, or I'm the only schizo who is interested in talking about it, and in the end, I end up feeling like I have a lot of things to say, and no one to be able to express myself. I don't think I'll ever be too lonely in college. But hey, I still end up being afraid of simply existing as an NPC that people will occasionally interact with because I'm physically close, not because I have something interesting to say, or because I have a weird sense of humor, or because I share some weirdness, etc. Does anyone here feel similarly? It would be great to know if others could share some experience on the subject.
Obsessed coworker. Stories. I started working at a very large company about 6 months ago. The office on my floor is very large, and each row of desks is a department. Recently, a guy who was about 20 years old, I'm 21, found my Instagram and asked to follow me. So far, everything was normal. He liked some of my photos, and I didn't follow him back because I wasn't interested. On Monday after lunch, I was sitting at my desk when a girl from his department came to give me a candy with a little piece of paper written on it with his name on it. I admit that I thought it was really cute, and I was really embarrassed. After that, I sent him a message thanking him, and we talked for a while. He asked me out, but I changed the subject. But now he keeps sending me messages every day during work hours, and it's getting uncomfortable for me to walk around there and look at him. He asked me to lunch, but I haven't responded yet. I'm not interested in going out with him, but I also don't want to waste time or say it to his face. I'd like to know the best way to get rid of him.
Beating things around the bush and giving false hope is the worst thing. I would say that I appreciate the favor and am flattered by the invitations, but that due to personal issues, I am not available for dates at the moment. That's it. It won't sound like anything personal against him. You just don't want to, and that's okay. Just say it in a text message.
A report on the environment in a medical school. Stories. I want to be brief, so let's summarize. I'm in my 4th year of medical school, and the level of rivalry between everyone in the classroom is huge. It's normal for a classroom to have cliques, but it starts to get too much. People don't look at you, you greet them, just say good morning. And people who don't like you just because you're not part of their group don't even respond. You pass someone, looking to say hi, and they don't look at your face, disguising themselves as you. You ask for the class slides and people have the polite face to open the slide in front of you, during class, and ignore your request in the class group. And they even say they're class representatives, but I think they just represent their little group of friends, right? Anyway, just a rant. These people will be doctors one day, unfortunately, and they forget that they might need people. So just because you don't like a colleague, without knowing them, are you going to mistreat them in a work environment? I fear for the patients and our fellow nurses. These people have huge egos, just because they are going to be doctors. Life is much more than that. A career is much more than that. It is not enough to just get a CRM. You have to be human. You have to be polite and sociable.
I have a degree in law and engineering, but I did a semester of medicine, and I can say that I only saw this in medicine. It was bizarre. By the middle of the first semester, people were already treating each other exactly as the OP described. I've never been so unhappy living in a group. I'm an extremely social guy. The best by far was engineering. Everyone was in the same boat and rowing together to finish the course. Out of 150 people, only 8 graduated. If we didn't support each other, no one would have graduated.
5 years liking the same person and not having the courage to confess my feelings. Stories. I've been in love with my best friend for 5 years. Yes, 5 years. We almost dated 4 years ago when she confessed her feelings to me, and I told her I felt the same way. But at the time, when I was about 13, I thought it was too young and ended up not going through with it. Even so, I told her that we would get married in the future, and she agreed to it, kind of like a promise. A year later, she told me that she no longer felt anything other than friendship, and that she loved our friendship. Since then, I've accepted being just her friend, but the truth is that I've never been able to forget her. We talk every day, we're very close, but I'm afraid of confessing my feelings again and ending up ruining our friendship, or reviving something that she might not want anymore. I know that many people have probably been through this, and maybe some have managed to get over it, but I can't imagine myself without her in my life. That's why my biggest fear is telling her how I feel and ending up losing her forever. Should I move on and try to forget her, or should I risk telling her everything I feel? Has anyone experienced this?
Later you will regret it if she finds someone and moves on. Talking and clarifying is better than being in doubt for the rest of your life. There is love that never dies. Regret hurts more than telling the truth.